SQL triggers. So basically, let's start. What is the trigger, and at the end, I will give you a demo how it works on MySQL. So basically, triggers are the stored program which are executed when a particular condition is set. So basically, when an event is occurred, then the trigger is executed. So the condition can be add, delete, or update statement. It could be a create, alter, or drop statement on a table, or it can be any database function like you are logging in, logging off, startup, or shutdown. You can just schedule a trigger on that, and trigger will perform the task. So basically, it would be just to if you want to check whether if the file is updated or not. So you can just set a trigger that whenever update of the file update, this trigger should run. So if you do that, it will automatically just store the information when the file was run and all other information which you want to set with it. The benefits of using triggers are it generates a derived column with values automatically. So basically, it will tell you what function was done if you design a trigger in that way. It enforces referential integrity. So basically, you can just create a table of reference. So whenever like you have one table, let's say you have order table. Okay, you create a trigger on that. Whenever the data is updated, you just store the data in a different table with the order ID in both the table as a key point, primary key. So in that way, you'll get to know whenever a particular order ID is updated, viewing on a reference table. Similarly, like I said, you can set the trigger on event logging and storing information on table access. So whenever there's anything updating on the database, you can just use the trigger to store the information. And then auditing, you can just check the triggered table and check whether the update is correct or not. Then synchronous replication of table. So basically, it will just if you are using a trigger to create a new table, so let's say you have order table and you want to create a backup order table. So in that scenario, whenever a new order table is updated, you can create a trigger to update a new record, the same record in the backup. So in that will help you to not to write two queries. You just do one, and the other would be done on backend using triggers. And prevent invalid transactions and imposing security authorization. So these were the benefits if you use trigger on your tables. So let's talk about the syntax of the trigger table. So it would be a create statement or a replace statement. If you're already having a trigger, you can use replace. Trigger is a keyword and the trigger name. You can give any name according to your requirement. Then when you want your trigger, do you want it before, you want after, you want instead of? Instead of refers to when you need a visual output, like you want to like a select query. It doesn't alter a table, it will show you the result. Similarly, you use instead of in that cases in which you don't want to store this information, you want to show it. Then insert, on what command you need to do it, on an insert or on update or on delete. It can be before insert, before update, after before delete, or it can be after, or it can be instead of insert. Then this is the optional column, the column number, column name. So basically, for example, if your table has around 10 to 12 columns, but you want to check when a particular column is updated. Let's say in order table, you have 8 columns, order number, order date and all, but you want to only use the trigger when a particular column, like let's say price is updated, then only this trigger should implement. Then you can just block it to that column itself. Then on and a table name, on which table you want to put your triggers. Then we have referring old and as. So, this is used when you want to store the information or you want to carry the information. So basically, let's say I have created a trigger on update. So old means the previous value and new means the new value which we are updating. So for example, I am updating price from 100 to 200. So the old would have 100 and the new would have 200. For each row, so if you put this command, so it will run for each row. So if you update any row, it would the trigger would run, and then there's a vendor mention. So okay, after that, if you want to do much more execution, then we have declare function. This is similar to what we do in store procedure. So we declare, we have a declaration statement, then we begin. So we write a query which we want to perform. and then if there any exception, we can do exception handling and we end it. So this part is when you want something more from your trigger instead of just storing and logging. So these are the description of each command. So any doubt till here?
Swap, like how triggers are different from stored procedures. There also we can schedule something and give input.
Yeah.
Like that, right?
So in store procedure, what you do, either you schedule or either you call the store procedure. But in trigger, you don't do any of it. So you basically what you do is you will put a trigger on the table name. Let's say for us we are working on 3 tables: order, customer, and salesman. So let's say I have put a trigger on customer table. Okay, so I can't call this trigger. It would only work when the customer table is updated or deleted based on the function I have chosen here. So let's say I have chosen update function. So whenever the order table, customer table is updated, then only the trigger would run. Whereas store procedure, you can schedule it. It would run based on time or based on the call you made to it. You can't run trigger automatically. It would run only on the event which you have assigned to it.
So Swap, is it possible for the trigger to happen based on a value of data?
Based on value
means so for example, I think I'm just so checking if this is a valid possible situation. Let's say a new record has gotten updated. Okay. And so I think so that is a trigger, right? So you mentioned that based on, let's say, a new record or an update record, you can run a
trigger
the code, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And based on a certain value in that, obviously we can set up condition to say, okay, if this is greater than this number, then do this, right? So then it will accordingly execute. Correct?
Yeah, you can do that. So basically, let's say if the value is 20, you want to add there's another column and you want to add a value to that. So you can put that condition here. So once a new value, it would check that value and it can do it here. If you are creating your condition till this part, so it's just calling a trigger and just storing the old and new values. If you want to do something else based on the value, you can just declare it here when condition with a when condition, and it would perform. Okay. So yeah, we can see this example and then we can execute our own. So here we have example of a customer table. Okay. Now they are creating a trigger that would work on insert, update, or delete. So they have taken all the 3 events that can happen to this table, and what they are doing, they are checking the salary difference of old and new. So for example, if they are updating a salary, so it will take the salary, previous salary, it will take the new salary, and it will calculate difference among them. So this is what they have given their trigger. So whenever you run, you will get a command trigger created. So basically what they did, they insert a new record. So for trigger, it displayed them because we are adding a new record, we didn't have old salary. So it just displayed them the new salary and there's no difference. But when they updated a existing customer record, so they updated it by 500. So you have the old salary 1500, the new salary 2000, and the salary difference is 500. So this way, your trigger, their trigger is running based on both insert and update queries. So now, let's go to MySQL and we also run a query. So we already have our customer table. This is our customer table. So what I am planning to do is, I am planning to change its grades. So this trigger will only work on, I have just made it only for update. And whenever a grade value changes, our trigger would run. So what I did, I created another table that is customer audit. So this table have just ID, customer ID, the grade, and the chain date. Basically, I'm just storing a time, date timestamp when a particular trigger has been run. So for trigger, what the syntax is, create trigger, the trigger name, before update on customer for each row. So I'm not confining it to a particular column. I'm just taking for a complete table. Insert in, then I'm running a command that insert into customer audit, a table which we just created. Set action as update. So whenever update is happening, we'll have an update action. take the old customer ID, take the old grade name and store into my customer audit field. So this will always contain the old values. Once you create a trigger, you can see your trigger from using this command, that is show triggers. So it will show you trigger and it will show the statement. Or there's another way is so you can go to schema, go to tables. So you have your table. So like I created my trigger on the customer table. So in customer table you have column, index, foreign key, triggers. When you go on triggers, you can see your trigger here. So it will show which tables have the triggers. So this is it. So once you have your trigger, so let's take a customer here. Okay. So I have just ran this query on Josie Alter. So his grade is 300. Now let's move it to let's say 500. And now if I run this, okay, let me show you the table first. Trigger table. So in the currently customer audit, I have only one record that I run today itself in the morning. So the previous value was 200. Now you can see the value has been changed to 300. Now we'll change that value to 500 and it should show the grade value as 300 for this customer. So if I run this first, the record is successfully updated. We can see this record. So we have a 500 value. And if I go to our customer audit table, you can see a new record has been added with the previous value of 300. So yeah, this way you can use your triggers to just store the information. If you want to create a trigger, you can create with a new value as well. So if you want to compare in this table itself, you can have both old and new value and you can run it. Okay, so this was the trigger, all about triggers. If anyone is having doubt.
Most of all good from this.
One quick question. So does SQL have the capability to trigger, to sort of initiate an external application?
External application. I'm not sure about it.
For example, if this data has happened, then initiate a Tableau update, for example, right? Or run another program, something like that.
I don't think so. We can run another program if its syntax is in SQL. I'm not sure. It would based on the connection which both the tools have, and if we have the authority to run it through SQL. So you want to say if there's an update in a table, so it should refresh in Tableau, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So any external thing, because the trigger is a very valuable thing, right? Because trigger usually helps you do something, and as long as this application, which is SQL, can act on that trigger, then I'm just thinking, of course it can, I would assume it can do everything it can do in SQL, right?
Yeah.
So whatever you can do in SQL, you can basically even store procedures, call anything, update, edit, whatever, everything it can do.
Yeah.
Now, can it also do anything outside the application? That's what I'm trying to think and understand.
Yeah, if we can call a particular external program through SQL statements, if that's possible, then we can do it from trigger as well. So we have to check whether we can do it from a normal SQL statements.
I think it has the capability to send emails, so that I assume would require the functionality of an external application such as Outlook or something, right? So to that extent, it might provide the capability. For Tableau, I'm also not sure as to what other applications can it interface with. I'm not sure.
Okay.
In Tableau, actually, once the data gets updated, we have to manually click refresh unless there is some scheduled time. Generally, the project needs to work in Tableau server for live connection. They have refresh weekly once or something. So automatically the data gets updated. For some other extract whichever we made, then again they have scheduled a live connection generally the extract will convert into live, then the data gets updated and get extracted. This is how it works. I'm not sure whether it's possible to schedule it from SQL.
Okay.